So many students are asking us tell us about the academic structure and the way to really complete my CFA exams, all the 3 levels. I hope this is the only video you ever need to see. Let's get into it. So first of all, CFA Level 1. Most of you guys, if you are in college, please jump into it. By your second year, or rather second last year of graduation, you can give the exam. Please do that, right? The earlier you start, I'm promising you will look back in a few years and thank this video that starting early was the biggest push you required. And if you start, it'll give you the biggest jump of your career. So first of all, most of you guys, if you are in college, remember that the CFA exam, the language of the questions and even the actual study material, it is nothing like the BCom or the BBA or the engineering syllabus that you have studied up till now. Right? It's going to be extremely different. So number one, be mentally prepared for that. Number two, CFA Level 1 has 180 questions total, split into 90 questions in the first half of the exam and 90 questions in the second half. The first half is 2 hours 12 minutes, then you have a 30-minute break, and then the second part starts again for 2 hours 12 minutes. Most people call it the AM session and the PM session. All of these are multiple choice questions. Multiple choice, so unfortunately again, Indian students feel MCQs is so easy. CFA is not like that, right? Even though it is multiple choice and you have 3 options, right? The 3 options are given in such a way that you will end up getting confused. So the better way to do it, right? Number one is that you cannot selectively study. You need to study it all. Number two, these questions, even though they're MCQs, you will have to really understand the concepts of level 1 to be able to answer this. Then if you cannot answer it, right, you can start what we call the process of elimination. Out of 3, hopefully you'll be at least be able to eliminate 1 and then maybe the next one, and obviously what is remaining is the best answer for you. Lastly, worst case scenario in level 1, if you are actually blanking out per question, then just fluke one, because at least there's a 33.3% chance that you're going to get that right. Also, these MCQs, they are somehow designed to ensure that it will feel like a trap sometimes. Like, you will be solving it, and even if you're going in the wrong direction, the answer you get will actually be an option. So even the wrong kind of question might feel like this is the right answer. So again, it all comes down to the conceptual learning and ensuring that the preparation for CFA Level 1 is quite deep. That should be enough to actually help you get through Level 1. Level 1 is a combination that you need to understand, you need to enjoy a little bit of numbers, a little bit of accounts, a little bit of economics, as well as have a passion, a massive passion for the field of finance. You really need to love what we call the markets, the investment world. I think that should be a good enough for you to clear Level 1. Next, the key topics in level 1 to focus on. So as you guys know, right, that CFA level 1, 2 and 3 all have the same 10 subjects. By the way, we made a detailed video on CFA with its structure. If you've not seen it, then please do. It'll clear all your basics and now you can come back to this video. Anyways, let's assume you know that. So level 1 covers, there are a few subjects that you really need to pay attention to that will help you clear. The few subjects are, number 1 is Quantitative Methods. Number 2 is FSA, Financial Statements Analysis. Number 3, Ethics, and number 4, Economics. You cover these 4 topics, you should be good to go, because the other topics are all actually the ones which will be higher weighted in level 2 and level 3, and they are all about finance and about the investment world. Right? And finally, guys, in the exam, remember that when you're solving each question, try and ensure that, number 1, all the questions you don't spend more than 60 seconds on, especially the ones which are not numerical. The numerical questions, sometimes you can even take 90 seconds, but if you cross 90 seconds, then we flag the question and then come back to it later, because it is going to be a little important that you do not waste time. It is better, answer all the questions, even if some of them you're not too sure, than to waste energy and try to perfect some questions and then land up leaving the rest. You can even ensure that across all the levels, you read the options first and then you can read the question to basically make sense out of what is it that they're asking. It'll give you a nicer perspective about the question. Otherwise, you read the question, read the options, again read the question, again read the options. Instead, you can practice it like this even before you really attempt these exams. Now comes level 2. Now level 2, by the way, is considered for students as the most difficult of the 3 levels. From level 1, by the way, it is a massive jump. Some of you guys may have cleared level 1, will clear level 1. I won't say with ease, but maybe with relative ease. Level 2 is not going to be like that. Okay. Secondly, the question format, even level 2 is full of multiple choice questions, MCQs. However, it's not like CFA level 1. In level 2, it's going to be a little different. They're going to be what we call caselets, right? So it'll be like a comprehension type of actual question, a case study you'll have to read. I think there'll be 4 questions that have in turn 3 MCQs. So those 4 questions will all be related to this case study. So if you by chance selectively study in level 2 also and you miss the question. So for example, let's say there's a subject called equity and they ask you 2 caselets on equity and the following questions are about equity, and for whatever reason you had missed studying equity, you're going to miss 2 major chunks which in turn have 4 questions each. So you can basically lose out the exam upfront. And you don't want that. You don't want that panic in the exam. So you might as well ensure that you will end up covering everything. Your study time will more than double from level 1. So that's very, very important for everyone to understand for level 2. And now the subjects which are important in level 2, they're similar to level 1, but you add fixed income and alternative investments and these start gaining weightage. Portfolio management, derivatives, these are also slightly increasing in weightage, but their real weightage is going to come in level 3. So level 2, once again, while it's going deeper with the subjects in level 1, it is also expanding on your finance base, on your market understanding base, and the questions are going to become more and more complex. So guys, with level 2, there are going to be 11 caselets. Each of them will have 4 questions, which means it's a total of 44 questions for AM as well as PM. So I'm re-emphasizing, please ensure that level 2 you put in at least double the time that you put in level 1. And then comes the final level 3. Now, level 3, it is technically supposed to be the most difficult, but from a student perspective, it's slightly less tedious than level 2, and there's a reason for it. Level 3 is more analytical, okay? Which means, let's say there's a question. Now, you and I both can give different answers, but if we are both justified in it, we both can get the answer right? So, it is more about your ability to actually justify your points, give valid reasons why you're suggesting this. The whole goal of CFA is to teach us how to understand the markets and how to make the highest return from the market. So you and I might be looking at it in a different way, but as long as we are both generating the max returns in the market, we're going to get the answer correct. Also, level 3 is now going to be 70% essay type, right? Level 1 and level 2 were 100% MCQs. Level 3 is going to be 70% essay type, only 30% MCQs. And the beauty of a professional global qualification like CFA, especially if you're born and raised in India, right? In India, when we write any question, we want to get marks, especially in essay based, right? We go all in with the words. We try to make it lengthy, we try to make it detailed. But in the world of CFA, they don't care about the length. In fact, it's sometimes discouraged. What they care about is if you have a 10-page answer and I have a half a page answer, but if my points are more accurate than your 10-page answer, you will still score lesser than me. They care about, is the candidate understanding what really matters, the keywords, right? Is the answer clearly, if the question has the word justify or evaluate. Plus guys, time management is another issue in level 3. The more detailed you go, you might really not get more marks, but you're definitely going to waste more time and you might miss certain other questions where you do need time in the real exam. So please don't go down this whole complicated, lengthy answer route, right? Stick to the facts, stick to the crisper points, the accurate points, and any which ways you will not have a problem. Hopefully you will not have a problem in this with level 3. When it comes to the key topics, guys, quants is removed in level 3. Instead, there's going to be high focus now on subjects like derivatives, equity, fixed income, and earlier it was generally portfolio management, but now because of level 3 having pathways, the third part can be on portfolio management, or you can choose the pathway of private wealth or private markets. And guys, finally, whether it's level 1, level 2, level 3, the key is not only studying and putting in the time, you need to practice mock exams. Mock exams means in the last 15 days of your exam, and if you are a little smart, then even a little earlier than that, right? You need to lock yourself in a room, put yourself in a typical exam type situation and solve the mock exams in the exact way that you would in the exam. No shortcuts, solve every question, have it checked, take feedback. If you do this, I promise you the chances that you are going to clear the exams is going to skyrocket. A, because you know where you stand. B, because once you practice here, by the time you go in the real exam, you're much less nervous. Take these exams seriously because well, not only are they going to build your career, but the earlier you do it, hopefully the faster and the higher you're going to move in your life. If there's anything else you'd like to ask, please leave it in the comments and I'll personally try to answer all your questions.